All right, final hour of the show on this Friday afternoon. It is Wolf and Luke live from the Ak-Chin Community Studios. Thanks to Darren Urban, Derb, as Wolf calls him, for joining us from Indianapolis.
From the airport in Indianapolis as well. A lot of people coming home today from the Combine, of course, on the weekend. And Max Starks had the opportunity to visit with us today after coming back from the Combine yesterday.
Jonathan Gannon's going to join us here shortly so we can get into a lot of the stuff that the Cardinals may or may not have gotten out of the Combine so far. The Combine goes really through Monday, and then a week from Monday, legal tampering starts, and then 2 days after that, the new league year starts, which means free agency begins.
Yeah, once again, we were talking about this just the other day, too. It just feels like when the Combine starts, that's when the new league year starts.
It does. It really does feel that way. It's funny. We've obviously got the Combine on in here, and we've got a few other TVs tuned to different things. Caleb Williams is everywhere today.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking earlier. I mean, like Malik Neighbors, I'm still a little confused as to why he's not doing the stuff, the workouts and all that part of it, because it just feels like it might hurt his stock a little bit. Not like, oh, okay, Malik Neighbors is going to be the 5th pick and now he's the 15th. Not that. But, I mean, it opens the door for Rome Odunze to either pass him or lock up a spot in front of him. And I don't know. It feels like even though Caleb Williams isn't working out, he's a presence there today.
I just think it's a really wise thing for Rome Odunze to do, to actually work out. Be the one of the top 3 wide receivers who's actually going to go out there and work out, especially if he goes out there and lights it up. I mean, this guy, if he runs a sub 4.4, it's truly going to make a lot of people balk, I think. Because even though we like to sit here and say it's all about the tape, and it is, man, when you can take numbers that blow you away and juxtapose the tape with those numbers, now all of a sudden it gives you a clearer picture, I think, overall, as to which way you might go in terms of handing out a final grade.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point now, too, where there's a couple 40s. They're lining up for some of the drills on TV right now, too. So we're gonna get to see some of these guys on the offensive side of the football run some. We're gonna get to see Rome Odunze here in the next couple days. We're gonna see if he can help his stock. There's gonna be somebody that helps their stock and they shoot up the boards. You heard Darren Urban, we had him on last segment, saying, look, there's 3 quarterbacks everybody's talking about, but there are other quarterbacks. So, there's more than 3 teams that need a quarterback, and you just wonder if, hey, you're sitting there at 4, if some team's going to be like, we really want J.J. McCarthy, and we'll overpay you for him. You know my thoughts. Just whatever you can do to get a top 3 receiver, and I would prefer Marvin Harrison or Rome Odunze, but still, any one of them. All right, joining us right now on the Arizona Sports Line is the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon. JG, thanks for the time, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going great, guys. Thanks for having me on today. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, JJ.
You too. You've been doing interviews for a couple of days now. You get interviewed, I guess. Let's start with the position everybody's kind of talking about. There's really 3 top receivers in a lot of people's minds. Have you guys gotten a chance to meet with them, or are you planning to do that?
Yeah, already did it. Met with a lot of guys. We had all our formals from Monday. We finished up Thursday afternoon with that, and all those guys did a really good job. It was cool to get to know them. Put a name with a jersey number or a face with a jersey number, and just get to start to know them as people a little bit more, and talk a little bit of ball, and talk a little bit about them. And they all did a good job.
Hey, JG, how did Marvin Harrison Jr. look?
He's tall. He's tall. He's a big guy. Yeah, it was funny because I had met his dad and said, "Man, your mom must be a little taller because your dad's not, that big, And he started laughing. He goes, "Yeah, she is. She's about 5'10" or so." So, he's got some length to him. There's no doubt about that.
So, how did that conversation go, JJ? I mean,
it was good. Well? Yeah, he was on it. All the questions that were asked by everybody in there had really good answers. He was very thought out, very mature. It was a really good interview.
Does it bother you at all that he missed the media availability this morning?
No, I actually just found out about it 15 seconds ago before I jumped on with you guys. I kudos to him. I would have done the same thing if I could have.
No, JJ, seriously, yes.
How about that? Hey, man, more power to him. No, I don't know. I'm sure, I'm sure the media wants to hear from him, but in due time they will.
JJ, we all know how important these interviews are with these prospects right now. You guys talk about it all the time. Do you have a number one question that you typically ask? What is the most important question? Do you have one?
I don't. We have kind of some questions that we like to ask in there, but every guy's a little bit different too. So it's really a credit to our college scouts getting the information, and our scouting side. Our scouts know these guys like inside and out. They've been into all these schools, and they had to have all the information on the draft class this year. But they, since they've been going into Ohio State, they've seen this guy as a freshman. I'm talking about Marvin, obviously, just one example. But so they know a good deal about these guys. So that helps us to ask certain questions of certain guys, what we want to find out about and things like that. But like I said, it's really just getting to know the person first a little bit, talk about some things and watch a little football with them. And like I said, they've all done a really good job.
Talking to Jonathan Gannon, JG, I got to ask about Terrion Arnold because that meeting has made some headlines, and I think everybody's reaction was, yeah, that about sounds like JG. But can you tell us how that interaction went?
What did he say? I don't know.
He said, I think his exact quote was,
now I just started sweating. I literally just started sweating. So what did he say about it?
Yeah, it was here. We have it right here.
It went really good. They wanted to see how I press. He told me to get up there and demonstrate my press technique. I said, Coach, do you want me to hit you for real? He said, yeah, hit me for real. So I hit him. Yeah, I jammed him.
Okay, JG.
He did jam me. But, I played receiver back in the day. So then the next rep, he put his hands up, and I swiped him down and hip blocked him, and I said I would have scored on that one. That was just part of I like to do with corners. Every position is a little bit different, but how well do they know the technique that's been taught to them and the why behind it? And then I put my little spin on it a little bit, but he did a really good job. But I play receiver in those meetings for a little bit, and then Monty says, "All right, you can't do that anymore. Sit down." And
yes.
So it's fun. I have a little bit of fun with those guys, but you do figure out if they really know it.
I know. I was just going to say, JG, did you move your feet? How hard did you try to get away off his jam?
Yeah, so we're in a tight little room. But I say, hey, there's where the ball is. I'm the ex-receiver, and it's first down. What are you doing? You know what I mean? I kind of go through that. Where are your eyes? What are you looking at? What do you do when I do this? What do you do on movement? This and that. So I kind of release outside, or release inside, or release right down the bow. We play a little football in there. You guys, when you talk to Rollis, he likes to play like center and guard versus some of those D linemen, and I bet he's literally right now back in Phoenix with like a bruised chest because this one dude shocked him, and I was like, oh my God, he about put him through the TV. I told him, the next part of this was I was going to play guard, but I don't really want to play guard anymore after seeing that. So you could just sit down. Let's start getting to the tape right now. So, it's funny. It's cool.
JJ, what is next for you and the staff after the combine right now?
Yeah, so we're gonna go. I got it segmented out where we're gonna do some evaluation now. You know what I mean? So and we've been doing that with free agency and starting to get into the draft guys, but. March for me is a time for evaluation of acquisition, really the draft. And then we got certain days that we hit all football on too. But, we want to make sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's with all these prospects and make sure that we have our opinions and how do they fit. And then Monty takes all that information and goes and does what he needs to do with it. But that's a big piece for us, you know what I mean? Because we want to see, hey, do we see this guy the same way? What's his role going to be for us? Does he fit the price of admission? All those things, we want to be on it. So we'll leading up to the this month of March and then April, and then when you have the top 30 visits and pro days and things like that, it's kind of an evaluation period for us as far as looking at the college guys now. Free agency's done for the most part, and then we'll obviously, I always schedule time for some ball.
Yeah.
So we'll be working on ball too. So it's a good part of the year here.
JG, before we let you go, I just want to ask you about the NFLPA report cards. I know you've only been here for a year, but what are your thoughts on just that whole process and what you've seen with the Cardinals over the last year?
Yeah, I haven't seen the report cards, so I don't really know. But, I don't – unless somebody asked me about that, I think it's at the podium, and I said, I don't know how that's taken. I don't know how that's distributed. I don't know, the grading scale. So I don't – I don't follow it too much, but I know that, Mark Dalton told me, we went up or we raised up. And I said, I think in the press when they asked me, I said a lot of these things that were improvements that were being made were kind of in the works already before I got on the job, truthfully. And then Michael's been great with Monty and I, we go in there and talk to him and say, hey, we need this or this. And he says, okay, great. It's whatever to help the players as much as possible. But I think it's a great working environment. We got everything we need, and we're ready to go to work here when the players get back in April.
So, JJ, I love this kid named Graham Barton. Have you seen this kid? Do you know anything about this kid? The interior offensive
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Did you meet with him, JJ?
We met with a lot of O-linemen. And
okay.
I would say I think O-line is like my spirit animal. And I tell those guys that. And I don't know why. I really don't, because when I say that, people are like, are you out of your mind? Like you look like a DB, right?
Yes.
Just the amount, first of all, people have no idea how smart offensive linemen are.
Right.
Like, they are so sharp, a lot of those guys. And it's just, wild to hear, talking through their college film and the rules and adjustments and techniques and things like that. And then, for the most part, they're really team-first guys, all of them. They know that they're a part of an O-line group. They know that's how they fit into the offense, how they fit into the team, and it was really cool talking to all those guys. We had some fun. We had some laughs in there with some of those guys. So it's just a different breed. If you play O-line, it's kind of a different mentality, I think, and it's really cool to hear those guys talk.
So you'd have no problem if Monty went with an O-lineman at number 4. Is that what you're saying, JJ?
No, I love all the O-linemen we talked about. I said sign them all up. Sign them up.
That's awesome.
JG, we appreciate the time. I know you're busy. Thank you.
You guys be good. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too. That's Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon joining us right there on the Arizona Sports Line from Indianapolis. And
thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.